Welcome back to another episode of the Walking Towards Light podcast. I'm your one and only host, Walker Williams, and this is a place where you can learn, you can grow your consciousness, and you can be your best self. Now, today, this is a special podcast. I said that the last podcast, but this one is just as special too. This is my 20th episode, people. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. I hope I ain't make that much noise on my mic. I see another thing. But the 20th episode, this is a major milestone for podcasters, for myself. Some people don't make it past 3 episodes. I'm at 20 and I'm grateful. And that's what I want to spend this episode about. I want to just talk about my time of being a podcaster up until now, just a refreshing episode. And then we gonna get back into the serious business after this episode. But this episode, I want it to be real intimate. You see, I don't have my mic stand this podcast, if you notice too. Like, I just want to be relaxed. I can chill. I can lay, what I'm saying? I can chill, I can lean back on something, what I'm saying? That's how I'm feeling today. Like, I feel super, first of all, I feel super energized. But I just feel super happy and just grateful just for all of the love, the support of the podcast. Like, everybody who's reached out, everybody who left, reviews and, gave me great insight that they gotten from the podcast. Y'all don't understand how much that means to me. It really and truly means a lot to my soul. Knowing of how much this platform means to me. This is something that I've been dreaming on for the last 5-6 years, and to see it come to fruition and to see it being received in such a amazing way, it really means something. And I literally still feel, I have a surreal feeling to this day about that. Even though I'm 20 episodes in, you would think that I should be getting into the flow and should be getting into just, used to being a podcaster, but it's still surreal. And I think the first thing I want to talk about on this podcast about my time being a podcaster is just that it's something great about following your dreams. And I know that sounds very cliche. The birds are chirping. That's great. That's great. But it's I know it sounds so cliche of that, following your dreams, and we've heard it several times over and over. But the fact that I'm actually living through this, and I can tell y'all that this is coming from my experience. Like, I've vision board. When I was 23, 24, I had vision boards, and I had this thing that I looked up in my wall every day. I used to wake up and I had podcast mic on there. I had a podcast studio. I'm not in a podcast studio, but look at this. This is my studio right here. This is right in my sanctuary, and I woke up every single day and I looked at that vision board, and I believe that one day that will be me. I believe that I can jump into that reality. And that's why I said it's a strange thing about following your dreams. And this is what I realized, because literally by me taking that risk and taking that action into what I believe in, it has led me into so many beautiful connections and journeys and experiences. And I sit back and I always think about, what if I never did none of that? Right? What if I literally chose not to believe in myself, believe in my purpose, believe in my journey? I could have been doing completely the opposite thing, of what I'm doing now, and just fell short to fear, fell short to doubt. But I took the route. My soul urge was so strong that I didn't let none of that shit affect me. And And I literally said, no, this is going to get done, because in my mind and how I operate is like, there's no other way. This is my purpose. And once I realized my purpose, it was an inner knowing. That's what triggered me to go. And like I said, and once you get over the doubt and once you get over the fear part, there's a unifying relationship that you have with the universe. It's like the universe is like, oh shit, you dead serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you really mean what you say. Like, you actually going for this, right? Because it's so easy to say you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do all of these things, and then the next week you off of it. You already done gave up on it, or you already found a new thing to think about and say, I want to do this, right? You know, and I feel like once you really stick with something that you dream about and you show that you really are working towards that, you put into action towards it, it has no choice but to come into fruition, because the universe is like, oh, this motherfucker ain't playing. Like, that means you really are creating that reality for yourself, because you believe it so much. You bring that reality into your existence. Okay, this is about jumping into realities. Every possibility exists, people. Literally, every possibility that you can think of, dream of, exists. It just takes you to believe that you can jump into that reality and become that reality, actually. That's all it takes. It's all about alignment, okay? It's about alignment to that vibration. And then anything is possible. Literally. I could, like I said, I could have went the whole completely different direction in my life. But I didn't. And damn it, look what it's brung. To all of my guests that I've did this podcast with, from meeting Indigo, from having Indigo on as my first guest, from Indigo meeting Odyssey, from Odyssey bringing in more connections, bringing in more eyes, more listeners. You know what I'm saying? More listeners to the show, you know, and that led me, and that also me, just say like this, me being so open and going towards my dreams and going to Miami to put that into play, that also opened up new perspectives in my mind about, okay, like, I can actually do this. Like, I can actually go to places and interview people. Like, I can actually, this is actually, you know, bringing more perspective to my life. This is actually, you know, like, doing these things is going to lead you from one thing to the next thing. It's going to be a domino effect because you believe in it so much. And it's so funny because me and my friend was talking about something earlier about delusion, right? And delusion is key when it comes to manifesting. I'm not going to lie to you. Delusion is definitely key, because every single person that has been successful had some type of delusion with what they was doing. Literally. Every person that was successful, because it's, you separate yourself from the people that are realistic about every single thing. Because those people that are realistic about every single thing, they looking at statistics. They looking at how the odds are. Everybody who succeeded something that was impossible didn't give a fuck about the odds. And excuse my language, but that's real. They didn't care about the odds. They knew that they wanted to be in that place or higher than whatever type of odds that people was trying to hold them to. They said, no, I want to be that times 10. Even though it never been done before. Records are beaten over and over again because that person believed that they can beat it. See, now we talking some shit. But see, now if you sitting at the house and you thinking to yourself that that's impossible, man, I can't do that. I can't beat that record, or I can't get to that place. I mean, look at me. We've seen countless and countless stories of people that are put in impossible situations come out on top. People that are homeless, don't have nowhere to live, okay? Nowhere to stay, nowhere to shower. Still get themselves out of their position that they're in because they believe in themselves so much that they break that barrier of what people thought they could be. Ooh. Hey man, look man, look man, look man. That's what I'm saying. Delusion is key because I feel like delusion and visualization is a part of the same thing. Okay? Now, you don't want to be delusional in certain aspects now. I know in some aspects you don't want to be delusional in. Some things you have to be realistic about. But when it comes to your dreams, okay? When it comes to your dreams, the visualization, the dreaming of it is very important to the actual actions of what you want to do. Yes, have some realism with it, but also you cannot forget about the visualization. Because before the action, you have to visualize, then you follow through with action. Now, I'm not telling people to hopefully wish. Now, we just not wishing for things. We actually dreaming and visualizing, but then also following in action and becoming what you want to bring into this existence. And that's why I feel like it's so important of just my journey is to be an example. This is an example. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for every soul that I've met on my journey. From Peace, that was just on last week. Make sure y'all go watch that episode. Okay, make sure y'all go watch that episode. That's one of my favorite episodes. All of my favorite episodes. But the fact that we was in nature is just crazy, and we having a great conversation. Make sure y'all go watch that. Make sure y'all go watch Just the Hippie podcast. Make sure y'all go watch Onyx podcast. Make sure y'all go watch Soul Glow's podcast and Odyssey's and not Soul Glow, but my boy Indigo. Make sure watch these podcasts because this is literally is the manifestation of my dreams. Okay, literally. We talking shit because I even told Peace, and I would tell Indigo, being at the retreat, I literally dreamed about that 4, 5, 6 years ago. I said that in a podcast. And look where I'm at now because I continually follow with action. No, I made that choice to move. Like I said, too, I made that choice to move out of Memphis because I knew I had to go somewhere else. I knew that I need to make new connections if I want to keep transcending of where I want to go. Okay? Follow your heart. Follow your intuition. And I also want to talk about this, too, because I know I'm in that mode. I'm in that mode today. That's how I'm in that pocket. Also, I got these new pants too that got me feeling real comfortable and flowy. Shout out to Hippie Pants. That's no brand deal either. I got it from Hippie Pants though. If you looking for them, we don't gatekeep nothing. Hippiepants.com, I think. Definitely appreciate y'all because I love these pants right here. But yeah. I want to talk about this. Is what I want to talk about. Some of my favorite episodes so far. We 20 episodes in, and I want to know y'all favorite episodes in the comment. Make sure y'all leave y'all favorite episodes in the comments. Make sure you subscribe too. Come on now, I'm gonna plug that in. I feel like one of my favorite episodes. Let's say without guests. Okay, we're gonna do without guests. I feel like my solo podcast got to be my book one. The one with the books, the 12 books that changed my life. And that's a highly slept on video right there. But those books that I talked about in that video those are my all-time books, and they really mean something to me. So if you haven't seen that episode, make sure you go watch that episode and get in these books. Okay? I think, that's definitely my number one. I would say, what's my other one? Ooh, the Let Go one. The Let Go podcast is definitely because, you got to let that shit go. It's important to let go, not hold on. Attachment is the root of all suffering. So that is definitely one of my favorite podcasts. And also, I want to say this too. I know we kind of rambling. We rambling today, but This is a full yap session. Um, but as I do these podcasts, y'all, I'm also healing myself. So this is a collective healing podcast because the wisdom that I've learned and the lessons that I've learned, I'm still learning things and I'm still growing through things and I'm still having growing pains. So as much as I'm trying to help the collective, this is helping me as much. I'm not perfect and I'm not no damn specialist, okay? I'm not no specialist. I'm just a guy who loves growth, who loves self-development, who loves spirituality, who loves God, who loves the inner God that is within me, because that's the God I'm talking about. um, but yeah, I just love books. I love just everything spiritual, man. That's just my life. But yeah, so I'm just constantly growing and I love to talk about these things. And this is a platform I continually want to talk and discuss and have these open dialogues about these topics because I would say, especially in the black community, this is a podcast for all communities. But in the black community, we need to have more of these conversations. And I think to have this platform is definitely game changing. I want to continue for it to grow. I want to continue to have more guests on that resonate with the message and the light that I'm trying to share with the world. So we're going to keep pushing with that. But I'm not done with the episodes. I say, so we got the books is number 1. I say let go number 2. What would be number 3? I think the number 3. I'm not gonna lie. That one episode that I got when it's called Cosmic Conversations, and I'm just yapping about space, stars. That's one of my favorites too, because that's how I be every day, y'all. That's another thing. We could talk about that too. This is how y'all see me is exactly how I am. Okay? The topics, everything is these are the things that I think about daily, like constantly. Okay, I'm always thinking about life. I'm always thinking about the deeper things, the deeper truths, the deeper. I always want to learn more and more and more. So what y'all get from me is exactly how I am in real life. So that episode is very one of my favorites too, even though it slept on too. But I'm just yapping about the stars. You know how it's 206 trillion stars around 3 trillion galaxies. Okay, it's crazy. This is how my mind works. I'm very into the metaphysical, the very quantum physics type shit, and that's why we got more to cover. We got more to touch on. A lot more to touch on. Honestly, we we haven't really touched the surface of what we got coming in store. Best believe it's way more things to talk about. But I would say those are my top episodes by myself. Now with the guests, all of them my favorite. Okay, every single one, because every single person had something to bring to the collective in their own unique ways, and that's what's so beautiful about like connecting with souls and having podcasts. Allowing them to share their stories and share their light, because everybody has such an interesting story. And I said on one of the podcasts, I think, but it's like everybody is a walking book with their own story, with their own wisdom, with their own lessons. And to be able to sit with these people so far and to be able to learn them and get to know them as well, because also on these podcasts, like, I'm getting to know them as well. Like it's y'all are getting to know them. I'm sitting there and getting to know them. That's why, like, it's genuinely reactions when they say something to me, and I'm like, damn, for real. I'm like, for real, like for real. Like this is me getting to know them personally, and I truly admire them and respect them to be able to come on my platform and to be able to be candid like that, And I think that's very special to me, and I want to continue to hold space for people so they can tell their stories and we can be vulnerable as men or with women, and to have these open emotional and very touching podcast because this is what we need. This is what the collective need at the moment. We need deep talks. We need deep conversations. We need healing. Okay, we need love. Okay, we need growth. These are the things that we need right now in society. So, and that's what I'm saying. Ultimate gratitude for them and everybody that came on. Thank y'all so much. This is a personal thank you for all of my guests so far. I do plan to have guests on coming in May. I can't wait for y'all to see those because we coming now. We ain't stopping for nothing. Just because I got to 20 episodes, don't mean we're stopping shit. Okay, we keeping this going. We keeping the ball rolling. For sure. I just with this episode right here, y'all, I really want to keep it light. And I really want to just keep it like a cool time. Like y'all at the crib with me. Like we just chatting and having a good time. And I really want to let the 20 episodes sink in because this is very different for me. You know, this is it's crazy. It's definitely crazy. Now, I do want to talk about this real quick. Water break. Hold up. Now, I do want to talk about this now for sure. Okay. This weekend, I had the opportunity to see the movie Sinners. And spoiler alert. Okay. All right. Spoiler alert. If you have not seen the movie, this is where you need to tap out the episode. Okay. This is where you need to tap out the episode, turn it off, and come back after you watch the movie. Okay. Because I'm finna give my spiel on the movie because, you know, I was hearing a lot. All right. And it took, you know how hard it was to dodge people spoiling this damn movie. And that's how I knew it was good because people could not keep their mouth closed for shit. I go on Twitter. I go on Instagram. I go on TikTok. I got to dodge every single thing like it's the Black Plague, okay? It's crazy work. But now I've seen it, and I understand the hype of the movie, and I feel like the hype is well worth all of the ruckus that it's caused because I actually went to go see the movie by myself. Make sure if you don't got nobody to go to, you can go by your damn self. Go on a solo movie. Make sure you get you some popcorn, get comfy up in there, you know, and have a good time. You can go by yourself. You don't got nobody to go to. Just know that I went by myself, okay? I went by myself and I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Actually, it's one of the best movies that I've seen in a while. Michael B. Jordan did his damn thing. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan. Clap it up for Michael B. Jordan. Because I feel like playing two characters with different traits is a hell of a a hell of a job. Like that's crazy. You had Smoke, you had Stack, phenomenal acting, okay? Phenomenal acting. You had the vampires, you had the action, right? But there's a deeper thing that I've took from the movie. And I'm not gonna really this is not a Sinners breakdown. This is just me yapping. I just wanted to talk to y'all about this. So you had the just the basics of the movie. That's a vampire movie and all of this, but this movie had real symbolism, real deep spiritual ancestral symbolism that really moved my spirit. And I wasn't planning on talking about this on the podcast, but once I seen it yesterday, I was just like, you know what? I gotta talk about it. I just gotta talk about it. It just makes sense to talk about the podcast. I mean, not the podcast, but the movie. But man, just Ryan Coogler, he said that African culture was the inspiration for this movie, and man, it literally was so powerful of like how he touched on our history with slavery in such a subtle way to where it wasn't traumatic. The movie wasn't traumatic, but it definitely showcased the past that we came from, and I felt like me personally, I know everybody have their different perspectives, but I felt like this was a showing of how powerful we were and how connected we were with our ancestors, with music, with blues, with drums, with before the indoctrination of Christianity. Now hear me out. Now I'm not I told y'all I'm not going in deep on this, but I felt like the representation of it was to explain like, hey, you know how his dad didn't want him playing the guitar, and saying that you do things like that, the devil gonna follow you home and all of this. But I just feel like it was a representation of how the indoctrination made you feel like doing music, playing drums, playing the guitar, blues, all of that was demonic. But before we was brought over, it's just like how with what's the character name? What's the character name? The old drunk guy. He had said we had this before they brought us over here, the blues, and he was talking to Sammy. I can't remember his name. But y'all know his name for all the people that watch. But he said we had the blues before they came and they took us over here. Okay? And in African culture, if you do the research, you know that from music, drums, and chants, and all of these things was the bridge from the physical to the spiritual, from the physical to the ancestors. It was a direct bridge, a connection, a communion. Okay, we used to use music and dance, drums, all of these things to connect spiritually, to connect to our ancestors that's on the other side. These things was very much in our culture, but as we was brought over here, we was indoctrinated that these things was bad. We couldn't actually do these things that our culture used, and that was a huge part of us. Which, if you wanna go to it real quick, we got to say this, but you see that in the black church to this day of just how we move, we dance. You go to a black church, it's a completely different vibe because the African culture is still ingrained in how we've actually, adopted Christianity. It's still ingrained, how we move and how we dance and how we shout. We when people get to they get to playing the church music in church and everybody's dancing and doing that, like all of that is African culture, right? But it was showing like, especially that scene, and I'm gonna say this too. That scene when Sammy got to playing and getting in a zone, and you seen the past, the future, right? You seen the ancestors that was called upon, okay, while he was playing his music, and that was a direct show of the power that we have in our connection with music. And Sammy had that connection with music. That was his destiny. He followed it, and like I said, his dad didn't want him doing it, but he listened to himself. He had a passion. That's why at the end credits, he was playing This Little Light of Mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Right? That was his light. That was his love. Okay? And see, these vampires, I feel like they was depicted as like culture vultures, culture appropriators, right? Just like how the main vampire was like, I want your blues, like I want your music, like I want you know what I'm saying? Like they wanted what they couldn't have. And also he came from a place that also had got colonized as well. So basically, he was posing as like, I'm trying to free y'all from the things that y'all been through, but actually he wasn't trying to free them. He was trying to trap them in and keep them here in the physical world. That's why Annie, shout out to Annie. Annie was the hero of the movie. Okay, let's make that clear as well. Annie was the hero of the movie, the hoodoo woman. Okay, she made them take the garlic to make sure anybody, she was the one who was able to identify that they was vampires. Okay, she was also the one to keeping Smoke protected with the necklace. I forgot what type of necklace that was, y'all. I told y'all I ain't planned to do a breakdown. But okay, these are my thoughts. All right. Raw thoughts. But yeah, she was the protector. She was the spiritual protector for Smoke. Smoke was the protector of the physical world, but Annie was the protector of the spiritual world. Okay. And that's what I'm saying. She was the superhero of the movie. And that's why I said, and that's why she knew. She was like, if I die, if I get bit by one of them, kill me. Okay? Because I don't want to be stuck here. I want to be with my ancestors. And that's why I'm saying, like, it's so powerful. Like, that movie was so powerful spiritually. And it really showed the connection from us and that we had to our ancestors. But like I said, we lost that through indoctrination, people. And this is no offense to Christianity. This is just what it is. Okay? This is what the truth is, y'all. This is no disrespect. I'm just saying that the indoctrination of Christianity was made us lose connection to our spirituality and our connection to our ancestors, because we was forced to believe that those things were evil, okay, and demonic, which there never wasn't. Okay, this was our thing. And I feel like this movie was a good depiction of that connection. That's why I love it. And I give it a 9 point. Look, yesterday I gave it a 9.2, and I said I really want to give it a 10 out of 10. Today we giving it a 10 out of 10. Okay, we getting that movie a 10 out of 10, because even the people, I'm seeing people saying negative shit about it. We ain't thinking about them, okay? Because they missing the message. But the people who do understand the message, the movie is a 10 out of 10. And I think everybody who resonates with that message will give it a 10 out of 10. Because that movie is that special. And also, like, even beyond the messages, the deeper messages too. Like, let me not say that. The whole movie was messages. The whole movie was messages. I'm gonna say that. Because even at the end, when I'm gonna say before the end, when the main vampire told Smoke, like, y'all thought y'all was building this juke house, right? Y'all thought y'all was building this juke house. Y'all thought y'all was gonna have fun, but the KKK members was gonna come the next day and kill all of y'all. And I feel like it was super dope to add that at the end when he remembered that. And he was like, you know what? Before I go out, I need to get y'all first, because y'all got me fucked up. I told y'all if y'all come back, I'm gonna handle y'all. And he did. So that was one of the, like, the connectors that I'm glad that they made sure that they remembered to do. And also I want to say Sammy too. Sammy was definitely one of the outstanding characters in that movie. Sammy, and that was like his first acting job. Give it up for Sammy. God damn. Shit. First acting job, and he killed it. I hope he have a wonderful movie career. But yeah, that movie is definitely special. And if you don't care for spoilers and you watch through this anyways, make sure you go see that movie, okay? Because even if I'm explaining it, there's more things that I'm leaving out. I'm just giving out the basics of what I took from this movie, and what inspired the movie. But yeah, so that's my little touch on the movie. I told y'all I wasn't going to go super deep. I just had to talk about it because I want to know if y'all saw what I saw. And if you did, if you have any other new perspectives about the Sinners movie, make sure you leave that in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Let's chat about it. I'm open to all perspectives. Let's chat. And that's it, y'all. Look, I want to keep it quick. This is my 20th episode. I don't want to make this long. I love Sinners. I love y'all for the support of 20 episodes. Y'all been holding me down. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed so far. Everybody who supported so far, everybody who has hit me up so far and told me how much they love the podcast. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So much love to y'all. I hope y'all have an amazing week. Amazing week. Make sure y'all love yourselves, okay? And let me not skip the end. I'm skipping too fast, okay? We all walking back to the eternal light. Make sure you continue to love yourselves. Make sure you continue to be who you are, not blocking yourself for anybody around you, okay? Follow your dreams. Follow your purpose. Follow your heart. Most importantly, follow your intuition, ladies and gents. Okay? I'm going to see y'all next week. And we out. Episode 20, baby. Let's get it.